Welcome to Financial Health, a 5-minute conversation with Jason Weier of Weier Wealth Management, focusing on your current and future financial goals. This is Financial Health on WOMT.
Welcome to Financial Health here on WOMT, and let's get right to it. Jason Weier of Weier Wealth Management, how are you today?
I'm doing really good.
Okay.
Really, really good.
Good, and I'm glad you had to think about it a little bit.
I wanted to be genuine and be authentic.
Perfect.
Yes.
Well, that's all we ask.
Today's a good day.
Good. And Jason, we're going to continue our conversation from last week. We had, again, a wonderful conversation about all of these apps that are out now and that allow you and give you the platform to do some investing, whether it be through stocks, ETFs, crypto even, all of these things. But Jason, we talked last week that a lot of these apps, what they do is they show you what is trending and what is popular at the time, and as opposed to, say, somebody like you at Weier Wealth Management, where you actually give recommendations.
Yes.
So, Jason, let's revisit that. So, say somebody downloads an app, what does it take for them to actually be somewhat successful at it, or at least try to attain their goals and to the best of their ability?
Let's jump to that popular word again.
Okay.
Trending, popular. So you mentioned that some other websites will not give you specific advice, but they'll give you, this stock is trending. My argument is saying, again, is that a good idea just because it's trending to be buying it? Can you think of an example of what was trending in the last 18 months, 24 months?
Oh.
Does one name come to mind?
Oh, gosh, yeah, to the
Sorry.
Of course. I'm sorry. I was not a part of that group, unfortunately.
Thank you.
But
So if you would have followed that, because that was popular at that point in time.
It was.
You probably lost quite a bit of money. So following the crowd, maybe not the best idea. Your mom probably always said that too. If your friends jump off the bridge, would you be doing it? Like trying to follow the crowd, be popular. Yeah, it's not
exactly, Jason.
Maybe not the best idea.
You wearing the backwards pants crisscross back in the day probably wasn't the best choice.
Wasn't. You saw the picture, huh?
I did. So Jason, what does a person need? We talked about this a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about doing it yourself.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the key words that people need.
Let's go through that checklist.
Let's go through it. Now, can I start with the first one?
You can, because I do want to say, again, we're not bashing any app or website, because if you have these 3 items or some of those and you're comfortable, have at it.
Exactly.
A financial advisor is not for everyone.
No, it's not, but it is.
We'll be bold.
But it is a great option if you don't have necessarily one of these.
All right, what do you have?
Knowledge.
Knowledge is good. Knowledge is key.
Knowledge is a very important part, Jason, because if, believe me, as a person who is just now diving into this, if you don't know what certain things are, you're going to get very confused and you're going to get lost. You're going to get very, very lost. Another one, time.
Yes.
You got to have the time to do this and the time to create and curate a good portfolio.
I love that word, curate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that last one, Jason, why don't you remind the listeners?
Willingness. You got to have the willingness.
There it is.
In my position, I would say you have to have all 3 of them. There's some arguments to say, well, if you have 2 out of the 3, maybe you're comfortable, but that's a personal decision on that individual.
Exactly.
But again, time, knowledge, willingness, if you have all 3 of them, have at it. Maybe you'll learn some things, maybe not. But the intention of a financial advisor or a wealth management firm is to give you a well-rounded plan, not give you what's popular today and selling it tomorrow. We're looking at long-term plans, utilizing data, using facts, figures, black and white data that is pretty easily measured.
Exactly. And that brings comfort to a lot of people, especially a person like me. Just even having this conversation with you, Jason, I feel much more comfortable than I did a year and a half ago just with this stuff. So again, if you have the time, the willingness, and the knowledge, hey, go for it. But if you don't and you do have some questions, Jason and Weier Wealth Management, one great option for you. So Jason, how much time do we have? Man, I wanted to talk about ETFs today, too.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, so
you have been doing your homework.
I have. So why don't we wrap up, and then next week we will talk about exchange-traded funds.
All right, easy for you to say. All right, contact Weier Wealth Management. Website is Weier, W-E-I-E-R, Weier, wealthmanagement.com. Phone number 920-242-9470, 920-242-9470. Look us up on Facebook and LinkedIn as well.
Awesome. Jason, I'll chat with you next week. It's WOMT.
Securities offered through Advantax Investment Services, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Advantax Advisory Services. Insurance services offered through Advantax Insurance Agency. Views and opinions presented in this podcast are those of Jason Weier and not of Advantax Wealth Management or subsidiaries. Opinions voiced in this material are for general information only, not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. Performance reference is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All investing involves risk, including loss of principal. No strategy assures success or protects against loss. This is a hypothetical example. This is not representative of any specific investment advice. Your results may vary.
Financial Health is heard every Monday at approximately 11:20 with Jason Weier of Weier Wealth Management. Learn more online at weirwealthmanagement.com. You're listening to WOMT Radio, a Sea Hafer broadcasting station.